Hey, I'm Rebecca Hale. I'm a school-based pediatric physical therapist. I have a business called Turtle House, and this channel is a place I want to start to share some of my insights. I work primarily with movement and breathing on how to optimize children's physiology so that they can best access their well-being and learning. And my passion is working with children on the autism spectrum and children that have a history of trauma. I love to teach caregivers to recognize how behaviors and restlessness can give us great insight into how their bodies are giving us signs on what they need. So this video is going to be a quick breakdown of 3 things that I look for when I'm looking at kids and what their physiology is telling me. And it's basically the foundation of the assessment work that I do with kids in the school system. So the first one is their postural imbalances. So what I'm looking at is can a kid sit still, stand still, because there's a major difference in a person's postural muscles, whether the front and the back of their body musculature is balanced or whether there is a pulling mechanism that's going one way or the other. If they're not balanced, then sitting in a chair can be really challenging, and it can be easier for these kids to move and keep their body moving. There's a lot of reasons why kids can be restless, but one of the primary things that we want to look at is if their postural muscles are in balance. This could be a kid who is identified on the playground like, well, why would they need physical therapy? They can run all over the playground, they're kicking the soccer ball, they're climbing all over. But the contrast with this kid is that they can't sit still to attend to a lesson. And again, lots of reasons why, but one of the things we want to see is there a postural imbalance that's preventing them from being able to use their postural muscles correctly to sit still and stand still. They'll also be the ones that are constantly moving when they're standing in line and they can't attend to their body. So this leads us to the next one, number 2, which is body control and awareness to safety and navigating the school. So this is the next component that I'm looking at is, can a child control their body on the stairs, in the hallway, through the classroom? A lot of kids on the autism spectrum have no idea where their body ends and the environment begins and their peers begin, and they'll be the ones that act like a bull in a china shop and run into kids, throw themselves on the floor instead of just walking nicely into a classroom. And sometimes we're telling them, you know, when you come into the classroom, sit down. They just don't quite have the body awareness that they're not following through with that. And so there's a lot of strategies from physical therapy that we can work on to become more aware of their physical body and space and control their body. And then this leads us to the next component, which is like number 3, which is coordinating your body. So whether you can coordinate the parts of your body and whether you can stabilize parts of your body to allow different appendages to move separately. So this can be seen like a kid that has a hard time kicking a ball. When they go to swing their leg, their entire body moves with them, and not in a segmented way where if you're following through a soccer kick, you have, you want to use your body so that you have power. And this is when they swing their leg, both of their legs move and they can't actually separate the movement of their 2 legs. The other place, there's lots of places we can see this, but another place where I really look closely is the child having trouble scanning a page, so reading left to right. And so if there's a kid that's having a hard time reading, sometimes it's important to break down whether their body has the physical control. So you can see very clearly whether a kid can move their head separate from their body, or if they literally turn their whole body when you ask them to turn their head, or even down to the eye muscles. So if they can keep their head still and just move their eyes to track on a page, or if their whole head tracks on the page. So real simple breakdown of that, because that could be a whole separate video. So those are the three things that I look at for big things that I'm looking for when I believe that I can help a kid with attention and behavioral issues in a classroom and being able to access the academic curriculum. So postural imbalance, body control, and coordination, coordinating their body together and separating their arms and legs to do things uniquely on their own. If you're interested in following me, please click a like. I'm just starting out. This is one of my first videos, and I hope to continue to build on this information and start breaking down each of those categories a little more. Also, if you have any questions about things that I do as a pediatric physical therapist or working with kids with trauma, feel free to comment below or connect with me on turtlehouse.com and send me an email. Thank you.